This is Capital Clarity, a channel where we explain how money works clearly, simply, honestly. Most people think banks make money by charging small fees, monthly account fees, transfer fees, ATM fees, but in reality those are tiny compared to their real money engine. Banks make money by controlling the flow of money itself. And once you understand how this system works, you will never look at loans, savings, or credit cards the same way again. Let us start with a simple idea. When you deposit money into a bank, you believe it just sits there safely. But your money does not rest. It starts working for the bank immediately. Imagine you deposit $1,000. The bank does not keep all 1,000 in a vault. In most countries, banks are only required to keep a small percentage as reserves. Let us say 10%. That means the bank keeps $100. The remaining $900 can be lent out to someone else. That person uses it to buy a car. The car seller deposits that money into another bank. Now that bank keeps 10% and lends out the rest again. This process repeats again and again. From your original $1,000, the banking system creates many thousands more in loans. This is called fractional reserve banking. It is how money expands inside the economy. Banks are not just storing money, they are multiplying it. And every time money is lent, interest is charged. Interest is the true business of banking. Let us say the bank lends out $900 at 5% interest. Over time, the borrower pays back more than they borrowed. That extra money is profit for the bank. Now multiply this by millions of loans, mortgages, student loans, business loans, credit cards, personal loans. This is where banks earn billions. Your savings allow them to create these loans. And in return, they usually pay you very little interest. Maybe 1%, sometimes less. So banks borrow your money cheaply and lend it out expensively. That difference is called the interest spread. It is the core engine of banking profit. But banks do even more. They package loans together. Thousands of mortgages combined into financial products. These products are sold to investors, pension funds, insurance companies, investment firms. This allows banks to free up money to lend even more again. It is like recycling debt into new profit streams. Banks also earn money from credit cards. When you swipe your card, the merchant pays a small fee. This fee goes to the card network and the bank. Over millions of transactions, this becomes enormous revenue. And then there are late fees, overdraft fees, foreign transaction fees. Not the main engine, but powerful extras. But here is the part most people never realize. Banks are not taking big risks with their own money. They are mostly using deposited money, which means the public supplies the raw material, while the banks collect the profit. Now you might ask, is the system bad? Not necessarily. It allows businesses to grow, people to buy homes, economies to expand, but it also concentrates enormous power. Banks decide who gets money, who can start companies, who can buy property, who stays stuck paying high interest. And during crises, governments often rescue banks, because the whole economy depends on them. Profits stay private, losses become public. This happened during the 2008 financial crisis. Banks made huge profits during the boom. When loans collapsed, taxpayers funded bailouts. So understanding banking is understanding power. It explains why interest rates affect everything. When central banks raise rates, borrowing becomes expensive. People spend less. Businesses slow down. When rates fall, borrowing explodes. Housing prices rise. Stock markets rise. Debt increases. Banks grow faster. The system runs on debt expansion and contraction, and banks sit in the center of it. Now let us talk about your role in this system. When you save money in a bank, you are lending to the bank. They use it to create more loans. You get safety and convenience. They get profit. When you borrow money, you pay for access to future income. Sometimes this is smart, like education or business investment. Sometimes it traps people in long-term debt cycles. High-interest credit cards are especially dangerous. They compound fast. Small balances become massive payments. Banks love revolving debt because interest never stops. This is why financial education matters. Not to hate banks, but to use the system intelligently. The wealthy understand how interest works in both directions. They borrow strategically. They invest. They let assets grow faster than debt costs. The poor and middle class often borrow for consumption, things that lose value, and pay interest instead of earning it. Same system, different outcomes. Banks also offer investment services, wealth management, trading, corporate financing. They help companies go public. They underwrite bonds. They profit from every transaction. In modern economies, banks are not just money storage. They are financial highways. Every major flow of capital passes through them. Understanding this changes how you see money. Your savings are not idle. Your loans are not random. Interest rates are not abstract numbers. They are the heartbeat of the entire economy. So the next time you hear about rate hikes or bank profits, remember, banks are not just buildings with tellers. They are money factories, powered by debt, fueled by deposits, controlled by policy, and shaping the future of wealth distribution every day. This is how money really works.